Hi there, my name is Frankie, and I'm one of the developers of this initiative called Seed TV. So basically, Seed TV is a TV platform that is owned by and is beneficial to the community. And in this presentation, I'm going to run you through with the basic thinking behind this project, and then I'm going to dive in a bit more into the technical details, and I'm going to round it up with a demo video. So a quick introduction. So CTV, it is an out-of-home. It is a multi-channel network platform being maintained and being bolstered up by Hong Kong people. So what we are not going to record any content. We're not going to produce any content, but instead, we're going to take advantage of using peer-to-peer technology, namely BitTorrent, and we're going to put it onto a Linux TV box. And the core software that we're going to use is called Core Elect. So you can have a look and Google it yourself. And what it does is that it spares a lot of storage bottleneck, because we're going to spread out the videos to different individual users and TV box owners, so we don't have to bear a huge amount of server cost in hosting a hell lot of videos. So where it come about was that when YouTube, Facebook, and Google is starting to censor videos, censor content, and is becoming increasingly impartial, I think we should, as open source community, we should start an alternative to try to either compete or to go hand in hand with other existing video-based platform, and we can actually put more functionality into it and more outreach, so we can actually have our own TV network, so we don't have to bear with TV license run by the Hong Kong government and Tvhk, and in other countries, if it happens that we can use open source technology and community effort to break the chain or to break the monopoly situation of existing TV networks. So of course, we're going to use a bunch of open source technology, and we're more than happy to have other people to join into this effort. So selling points. It is low cost because the hardware that we're going to use is a approximately 3-year-old TV box that's meant to be equipped with an Android TV software, but we're going to rip it out, and then we're going to put a Linux in it. So it is extremely cheap. It's about $200 to get it shipped into Hong Kong. And the penetration rate would be quite high, or quite unique, if I can say, because we are going to produce a bunch of these boxes, and we're going to give it out to retailers, and most of them got TV built in to show menus of their food, or they've already got a TV to show whatever TV that they want to show. But I think we're here to offer an alternative or a consolidated effort to bring different content creators' effort into a single on-sofa solution or on dining area solution, so people can actually watch TV other than pre-produced TV by existing TV channel, either it's pay or it's free. So I think we can also use this Seed TV initiative and strongholding the yellow economy, so to say, because I think we are in a slightly downturn of our economy, and spending a lot of time and effort and money onto marketing or to outreach to more people by paying advertising dollar, I don't think it is the smart way to go. So if we can actually co-promote amongst shops by having the same airtime, so your ad will be shown in other shops and vice versa, and online independent media content creator can have their promo video or the actual content shown in hundreds if not thousands of shops, and I thought that would be quite unique. And the last thing is it's quite flexible and it's multi-purpose. So of course you can use the TV to do pay-per-view, or you can use it to do on-demand content, or we can pre-curate a bunch of contents to be shown pretty much like back in the days when we have the roadshow initiative in our bus network. So you will see a bunch of promotional videos or advertising in conjunction with a bunch of other content being produced by other producer. And on top of that, I think we're moving into a very interesting time of our politics and our election. So I think we can make use of this very unique out-of-home TV network to promote and to encourage people to go out and vote and pay more attention to what's available for them to vote, for example. So simply put, I think it is a big say no to YouTube and say no to pre-existing monopolized TV channel, say no to censorship, and support the yellow economy, so that equals seed TV. So it's as simple as that. We're not going to get rid of YouTube right away with a lot of reasons, and I'm going to go through it in later stage. So what problems this platform can solve? I think the cost, because the back end, so to say, the storage of the actual video will be on P2P network. And if you can bridge the ideas through, if we have, let's say, 500 TV box and they all have copies of the video that we're going to show, so we solve a typical problem of using peer-to-peer network, of having fairly to seed and a lot of peers to try to download the video, because we naturally, outside the world of technology, we naturally got a host of devices who seed the target video because they've already got it pre-installed. And availability, I mean, is a key thing in a community-owned TV advert, because we can bring different independent or small or medium-sized media outlets together, so they have equal opportunities of reaching to different audience in different setup, from out of home and shops, or even in their living room on their sofa. So revenue, right? So content creators and shop can benefit through advertising opportunities, and they can get promotional video. For example, the media content creator, for example, if they made a weekly show and they like to reach out to more people, so they can actually, when they're home or when they're on the way home on a public transport, they can fire up the YouTube and look into the video, or even go into our own network and look into their content being produced. So right now, I don't think there is a way of doing that. Apart from trying to place some ad or word of mouth, or people forwarding or sharing your Facebook post so you can reach to other people, but we're providing another mean. And of course, advertising. So cross advertise. Basically, if I'm a small snack place in Mongkok, for example, so I'm going to produce a 30-second or a 15-second promotional video, and this video will be shown across the network in other outlets, and vice versa, because your TV screen will show other shops advertising as well. So that would be a cross advertise or a crowd effort of inter-showing all the videos that's available across the network. So our reach, of course, we're gonna reach out to district council, and we're gonna make sure voters get to know the elected district council members' work and what have they done in from within the constituencies. And because right now I think it's rather difficult unless you are a really hardcore politically sensitive follower, so you follow your district council member of the latest activity and so on. So I like to make this as an opportunity for the elected district council member to show to their constituency what they have done in this last month, what they will be doing in the next month, and so on and so forth. And of course, campaigning, because activists and campaigners can use this platform to promote their efforts. For example, there would be a crowdfunding project to place ads across the world about what's happening in Hong Kong. Then, apart from using existing social media, I think we provide an alternative or a additional media channel for them to promote or showcase what they plan to do or what they are doing or what they have done. So why this platform is good for content creator? Because it does not have impact on the existing income, because they can still put their content out on YouTube and get an advertising dollar and so on and so forth. So what we're trying to do is to reach out to the general public through our distribution network, so they can actually be aware there's such program. For example, I don't think there is a single YouTuber or a independent media outlet that is well known enough across this city with 7 million people, for example. So there's always room for improvement, and it does not increase the workload by maintaining other platform, because we are in development, or we are almost there to basically seamlessly put existing YouTube channels content straight into our TV network, so they don't actually have to re-upload a segment that they've done after they've uploaded to YouTube. We try to make it automatic, and it's very much possible. So what it does is that it increase out-of-home content exposure, of course, that we went through about this, and then it can still coexist with YouTube, so that's absolutely no problem. And then we can, in the future, we can create paid content and membership without the restriction and financial cuts of YouTube or even Patreon and things like that, because we are crowdsourcing this effort of hosting the content, and in return, I think we can cut down the hard costs or the expenses, so to say. So that means we can actually return more revenue coming out from membership or a pay-as-you-go or one-off content viewing. So the actual media creator can get the most out of this their own effort of producing the video, instead of the distributor or the platform taking a hefty cut from them. So they're always struggling. So why is this platform good for so-called yellow retail and F&B outlets? Because it does not cost much, if not nothing. Because I think we're gonna get a small crowdfunding or get a few people who's really wanting to put some financial effort into this initiative. And once again, it's $200 per box, so it's not expensive at all. And because most of them in their shops, they're already equipped with a TV, so it's as simple as plugging in the thing, and as long as their home's got internet, I think we're good to go. So I think we don't want to make it too politically one-sided, because we want to reach to the critical mass. So I think we want to make it interesting or less of a commitment for these slightly more neutral shops or neutral outlets, that they can actually adopt into it, because there's so much to watch and it catches the eyeball of the diner and the shoppers and so on and so forth. And of course, they can create an alliance and cross-sell their advertising network with other shops. So for example, once again, if you have a shop in Tvhk and your ad will be shown in Mongkok in a popular place and vice versa, right? So coexisting with YouTube, once again, that's cool. And I think it makes it easier for other yellow platforms to consolidate their efforts to promote your business as well. So that's very important too. And so why is this platform important for people in Hong Kong? I think it supports the so-called yellow economy, and also, you know, if you want to be part of it, but you are not going to get a TV box, at least you can help us to use your desktop or your laptop. When your internet's up, you can share a bit of your bandwidth and try to help to host a few videos, or your favorite YouTuber, so you can help them to host a video. Then we can increase the bandwidth and availability of the videos as well. So in case there are other shops that they don't equip with a TV, I think if someone's keen enough to donate the old TV, I think we can get it sorted out and bring it into shops that don't have a TV and have it installed as well. So it's quite eco-friendly too, because I don't think we need a 4K TV. It's just simple HD 1080p TV and we'll be fine. So once again, this crowdfunding effort of TV box and other miscellaneous purchases such as TV mounts and so on and so forth, and if people have spare ones or if they want to contribute into it but they're not tech persons, so they can't do development and so on and so forth, at least there is a way for them to contribute into this effort to make it not just a crowdfunding effort but also a crowdsourcing effort. So let's dive in technically into what we're trying to build, or what we are building, or what we have already built. So this platform, once again, is a software and hardware approach to create an in-store, mobile, and web TV platform. So it would be there would be a website that looks pretty much like YouTube and functions pretty much like YouTube on the front, but at the back we're not getting our videos from a singular or a distributed network of a weak spot, so to say, of a server or a form of server, but instead we're picking up the video you know, in different peer-to-peer network from different individuals' computer, for example. And at the moment, if you view a video on our website, for example, and the video is 10 minutes long, and if you watch about 10 minutes or let's say 5 minutes, like halfway through, and then there are other users who start to watch the same video, they're not just getting the videos actual MP4 file, for example, not just from the existing seeds, but also from your previous 5 minutes effort of watching the video from your mobile phone, because what we're adapting is a web-based RTC web torrent backend. So when you watch the video halfway through, you're already seeding half the video content for other people to download. So also, I think the software that we're going to use, I'll go through it in a couple of slides later. But the hardware, I think, is quite interesting. Once again, it's about 2 to 3 years old, fairly inexpensive ARM-based M-Logic CPU cheap TV box. So it's been sort of like discarded by the retail market right now, but it's still very much a powerful box, and it's good enough to do what we want to do. So also I like to go through this slightly separately, because this TV box that we're going to show you later on, it is quite interesting. It runs on a 5-volt setup with a maximum draw of approximately 2 ampere. So you can literally plug a battery pack and it's good to go. So there would be loads of booths on the street where they want to show videos and things, and I've seen people struggling with plugging in the TV with a laptop on an HDMI dongle with a cable and all these things. When things go pear-shaped, then you know everything's falling apart. They drop the laptop on the floor and it's broken, and it's just horrible. So I think we can use this TV box and altogether build a completely battery operated, basically mobilized TV. And as long as you have internet connected, or even you can show particular videos offline. So it's quite cool for setting up a booth on the street to show different videos. And in case there are major incidents that's happening on the street at a particular moment, I think we would build in a bit of an Easter egg, so to say, that we can override some of the TV boxes, that we can change it right into live TV being maintained by possibly other media outlet that they want to show what exactly is happening right now in Causeway Bay, in Victoria Park, and TST, and so on. So how to build this platform as a content creator? At the moment, we are planning possibly to use a Raspberry Pi 4 with a 2 TB hard drive. So it is the content creator side, because they have to provide the primary seed of their own video content. So it's either they host their own server instance, or perhaps in a later stage, or we'll see how this project develops, and there could be a centralized primary seeding PeerTube that we're using. So PeerTube instance that would be hosted on a particular cloud server, but or we can do either way, because the more seed we have, the more speed or the more bandwidth that we can get out of from the whole ecosystem. So I think the team would help the content creator to set it up very quickly, and we are sort of like halfway through of building a basically like a something similar to Docker image, so we can have mass deployment fairly quickly. And once you get the box set up, and then you just connect to a broadband connection, either wirelessly or wire with Raspberry Pi 4, then that's it. So right, so this is the key technologies behind. We're going to use BitTorrent, of course, and PeerTube. PeerTube is quite interesting. I mean, they set out. I thought they got some angel fund a few years ago, and I think it's preliminarily French developers, and there's a lot of French in their forum, and some of the documentation is being written by French, so it's a bit difficult. But despite the language barrier, this PeerTube is quite interesting. So have a look, and they've already done most of the hard work, so it's quite easy. And on top of that, there will be some, other interesting open source technology like amara.org. That thing will help you to create subtitle and have it overlaid on basically any video that's available on web, and have a web-based editor, so other people can contribute into doing subtitles. And so it's really good. And we are going to develop an add-on into our TV box, so we can have the subtitle overlaid in case we need to do bilingual or trilingual translation, and so on and so forth. So of course we use Docker, and by the way, Kodi is the software suite behind the entire TV box. So that is a very well maintained, and I think it's about 10-year-old now, this Kodi. So it's essentially a set of cross-platform software that provides the media box experience, and it's got a fairly good plug-in add-on ecosystem, and so we can build different add-ons and things. And the underlying Linux distribution that we're going to use is called Core Elect. So it once again is an open source effort, and it takes care of a lot of driver issues and other issues, such as a tailor-made or tailor-built Linux kernel that's specifically for ARM and ARM logic TV box. So it's been optimized to get the most out of this very inexpensive hardware, and yeah, especially with the GPU as well. The Mali GPU can render 4K TV with very little effort, and it's got what we've picked up is a quad-core TV box, and it's just $200. So we've been testing other possible devices as well, and I think this comes out really well. So of course the hardware behind it is ARM, and it's being designed by a company called Amlogic. And so let's move on. So the current limitation, right? So the current limitation is that this TV box can only work with internet connection. So we're not, we're not capable either technologically or legally to replace existing free TV network, because we can't just jam into the existing frequency, and it's illegal. So we have to use internet to be the mean to deliver all the content. And right now, I think BitTorrent, as some of you may know, torrents are immutable. So we can't at the moment, or I don't know how to break down the live stream into segments, so we can put a layer of BitTorrent on top of it, so we can distribute live streams using BitTorrent. But I think I've seen one or two instances of people actually being able to do that, but it's proprietary. So it's an interesting thing, purely technically, to look into it and see if we can actually have some trade-off of delay. For example, if we do live streaming, can we have 1 minute delay and actually sort the file out, so we can, you know, leverage on peer-to-peer network and use PeerTube to ultimately to have content creator to run live shows, live streaming, and amongst other things, and play it directly using our infrastructure, using our software and hardware design, and play it directly into Seed TV. But right now, I mean, the good news at least is we can port over live streaming from YouTube. That I've done it, and some other people have done it too. But hopefully we can squeeze something out from the Facebook API and actually put Facebook Live video onto the big screen using Seed TV as well. So it remains to be seen. So what's next, right? I hope we can get more content creators to opt in to use this platform or to support this platform. We're in talks with quite a number of them. And of course, we need, the key is the distribution network to actually show what our TV is showing to the public, because we can leverage on their retail exposure, and as a result, we can get a good outreach. And the most critical, I think, is to crowdsource a bit more developers. Right now, we have a small team of, you know, people doing it part-time. I think we have maximum 10 people working on it sparingly. So yeah, any effort is welcome. I think we are touching on Python. We're touching on the good old XML. For the UI and UX design. I mean, that's what Cody does. And also, I think server side, you know, the good old PHP, and amongst other things, and server configuration, and there's so many things that we can do and put into this project technically. So yeah, any discussion is welcome, and you can get into our HackMD later on, as we provide a QR code, so you can get in touch with us as well. So also, we like to crowdfund or crowdsource more hardware, especially in a later stage when we start to realize there are some shops that needs a TV, and if you have an old HDMI TV that fits into their store, I think when we build an operation team, we'll be in touch, or we will make it public to basically plea or, you know, request for some secondhand TV to be given away, so we can put it into shops that want to participate into this program. So plan of 2020. So the stage 0, I call it, is seeding. So I like to reach out to 500 or maximum 1,000 retail and F&B outlets, and so we can start playing some stuff in there, and that would be the perfect time to test scalability and you know, how the seed works, and etc. etc. And you know, rolling content by the current content owner and YouTuber, so we can start to encourage YouTuber to make a small promotional video, much like you can see in any TV in any part of the world, that they would use the existing channel to promote the program that's coming up next, or the next TV series, or the next documentary that they're going to show. So they're going to do like a 15-second or 30-second TV promo. So we want to do that, and we want to use the F&B and the retail outlet to reach out to people on the street. So when they're home, they can you know, go to the YouTube channel, or you can go to you can get one of our boxes, and you can actually watch at home, or you can watch it on the go in other platforms or in our own platform. It doesn't really matter. So the next stage, hopefully late July, is to have a small consumption base, you know, on top of the 500 to up to 1,000 retail outlets. And if it works well, and we're building a bigger team, and there are more people interested in this initiative, I hope we can get a small crowdfunding going and actually move the entire production of those TV box to Taiwan, because right now we are buying things that is obviously made in China, and I'm not saying that is crap, but there are some rooms of improvement. For example, upgrading the Ethernet connection to 1,000 meg and so on and so forth, and using something that is a little bit more reliable in terms of privacy with the wireless radio chip and so on and so forth, and actually to have a good vetting of what they've done to their hardware in the TV box, and that will be interesting too. And and I hope we can have this what we call seed fund, so we can use this TV network and get some funding in from other people, so we can be a distributor and to collect the money, so we can distribute the money to content creators, so they can bid for a slot, or they can bid for this bunch of money to produce a cool content that previously they couldn't, because there is a lack of funding. And even if they have the funding, there is a lack of distribution network, because it's been basically in Hong Kong dominated by a small handful of TV network operators. And then the growing stage would be hopefully to migrate subscription funding, and premium content creator can use our platform either alongside or in replacement of, for example, YouTube and or Patreon. So what they can get from the distribution network would be pretty much, let's say, 90% instead of just 70%, so they can get more money out of producing the content. And it's only fair because it's the community itself who help to lower the cost, and ultimately we can ship more money back to the content creators, so it can be sustainable, that they can create great content for the people of Hong Kong. And I mean, you can look into the presentation in detail for how the commercial side of things is going about, but let's move on. So the further plans, once again, hopefully we can solve this major problem, but major improvement of the use of peer-to-peer network for live streaming. That will be very interesting, and I kind of don't know how to do it, but we can talk about it. And once again, hopefully we can tie it into some traditional media outlet like Now TV or even iCable and things, because they've already offered free viewing with mobile phone apps and so on and so forth, with their own advertising plugged in. So in fact, I've done a bit of a reverse engineering, and we can already strip out the stream that they put up in the internet, because you can just fire up a website and go to nowtv.com.hk and watch their news channel for free. And so I can strip that off and actually plug it into our TV. So of course I'm not going to do it without the permission, but if so, I think that'll be interesting, because there is no such thing as a multi-channel network in Hong Kong, or not in a lot of countries. So we are unbiased. We don't have a preferential TV network or TV channel to show, so it's just a neutral platform to show basically non-censored or non-fake news content to the people of Hong Kong. So I think it will open up a bit of the market, or have a bit of a shake-up of the existing market. And also I think we can look into possibly like how Hong Kong Broadband forcefully bundle in the My TV Super into their broadband packages, and we can be one of the alternatives as well. So remains to be seen. So right, guys, if you guys are interested in looking into a bit more of the technical side of things, get into this link, scan this QR code and go into our HackMD, and we'll be constantly updating what we've done. And we also have our links in GitHub of our source codes and so on and so forth. It's all in there. Right, so the last thing is I'm going to just quickly show you a video to see what it actually looks like on the big screen. So well, that's it for me now. So enjoy the demo, and if you want to reach out to us, well, you can. So thank you for Open Source Conference to provide us this opportunity to present this project, and looking forward to hearing from you guys.
Superstar. This is Vibe.